Good morning everyone. So we are back again with another gun review for you this week, and I have been really excited about this one since the gun arrived on Wednesday. The guys at Longthorne have been kind enough to send us one of their absolutely stunning trigger plate sporters. Since it arrived on Wednesday, I have done nothing but pick it up, swing it around and be really excited about coming out and having a go with it. I had a chat with Jim at the game fair, asked if he would be kind enough to send us one up, and it arrived this week. So this one's a little bit special. Not only has it got the step rib barrels on it that I absolutely love, it has got a set of standard flat ribs, and it has also got a set of 20 bore, which goes straight on. You don't have to change your forend or anything like that. They're all suited to this one gun. Now, you will have all seen Mr. Carter's videos over the years of him jumping up and down on these barrels because they are produced from one piece of steel. The engineering that goes into these barrels is incredibly clever. I mean, Jim is a very clever guy, meaning they are extremely strong, but apparently they deliver their recoil in a very linear manner. So I'm really looking forward to getting out and shooting with these. I absolutely love the shape of the Longthorne actions. They're a very shallow action, makes them really elegant and a nice shape down into stock, and the engraving that goes onto these is absolutely stunning. So this is one of their scroll and game scene. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Fortunately, from what I've seen so far, it fits me really well. So the best thing to do is head out and we'll bust some clays. So I'm going to start with the 5-stand behind us. However, I've decided that a gun of this quality deserves a proper shell. And obviously, as I said earlier, they're meant to deliver the recoil really linear, so straight back. So I'm going to try something, obviously the Sovereigns, which are a little bit more thumpy, around 1600 feet per second, and see how they deal with the recoil of these. Right, let's have a look, shall we? So, as you've noticed, I've not put the shot cam on yet, and there's a reason for that. I want to see how the gun balances and feels before I shove a shed load of weight out the front, and so far it handles like an absolute dream. Having the drone out there has just given me a really bad idea. I'm going to bring it back over here and I'm going to see if I can get my camera lady to chase that DTL bird while I shoot it without shooting the drone. So far so good. I'm going to go and shoot my favourite now. I'm going to have a play on the fit ass. I'm going to chuck 20 bore barrels on, I think. But I'll play with these first because I quite like the step ribs. Obviously I'm used to it, but the balance on it so far is beautifully. Trigger pulls, everything. I mean, I cannot knock it yet. Just got to get used to shooting it a bit. Right, shall have a look at a few targets on here. As I said, they changed it. They've got rid of that nice big target. They've got a horrible quartering away rabbit and some nice quick stuff this week. So see how we do. So, seeing as I've shot that so nicely, I'm going to shove the 20 bore barrels on and have a quick bash with them. I absolutely have fallen in love with it. I mean, I'm going to show you guys quickly in slow-mo just how well this delivers its recoil. There's no muzzle flip, there's no kick, it's so smooth. I mean, even with those sovereigns, obviously the sovereign 8.5, 1600 feet per second, they are quite a punchy cartridge because they're fast, but there's just nothing. It's like shooting the sporting 100s, and that's the reason I bought those sovereigns today, just to see if it does what everybody says it does, and so far it does. So I'm going to play you a little slow-mo and show you just how well it reacts. So this is something that is available with all of the Longthorns. You can have them with multiple different caliber barrels. Now, the nice thing that they do is they just go straight on and you don't have to change your forend like you do with other guns. So in the machining process, what they do is they put these little wings on just here, as you can see. What they do is they butt up to the wood on the forend so there's no gap. Right, I'm going to be shooting some trusty 24 gram 7.5s from Hull. It's been a while since I've shot 20 bore. Let's hope it goes as well as it did with the 12 bore barrels. Pull. Pull. So it's definitely a hell of a lot lighter with the 20 bore barrels on it, and it's taking some getting used to. It's taking some controlling. When you've gone from a slightly barrel heavy gun to now a stock heavy gun, it's taking a bit of controlling and the weight, but it's killed some stuff. I definitely love those slightly ramped ribs on the 12 bore barrels. They are absolutely awesome. Everything about it, the forend, I love the shape of the forend. It's like a semi beaver tail. The pistol grip, how it obviously slides down, bringing the hand nice and neutral, nice and square. The balance, just everything about it so far is absolutely phenomenal, and the trigger pulls on it are just so crisp. And I mean, with those 20 bore barrels on it, those 24 grams, there is literally sod all recoil. So last couple of shots and we'll head back to the shop. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to very quickly go over the specifications of the gun that we've got here, because to be honest, it's a little bit irrelevant. So 32-inch, 3-inch chambered, multi-choke, steel proof. It is the trigger plate mechanism. It has got their slightly raised or ramped rib, whatever you want to call it, on it. It comes with a 14 3/4 inch sporter style pistol grip stock, which I absolutely love. And the reason I'm only going to go over these very briefly is because if you decide you want one of these, brand new, from the guys at Longthorne, you can have whatever the hell you want. So you can obviously have custom woodwork, so obviously to your specifications, if you've got a specific gun fit, with whatever wood you want, and they have got a fantastic selection of wood in-house. They do a selection of off-the-peg engraving, but you can have it customized to whatever you want. And the same pretty much stands with the barrels. You can have whatever barrel length, whatever boring, whatever choking you desire. And obviously, because it's all made in-house, they can do you whatever you want. Even if you want a weight, or a specific weight of the gun, they will work with you on getting you to that point. And I think that is an absolutely awesome service, that you can go to them now and just say, right, I want X, Y, Z. And they will go away and they will produce you exactly what you want. And I think that's something really, really special with the guys at Longthorne, is they can cater to whatever you want. Now, I am a little bit gutted, I'm not going to lie, because unfortunately, this will have gone back before the video goes out live this week. I would have loved to have had it for a little bit longer, but the guys at Longthorne need it back because they're going away abroad and they've got to show off their work. I thoroughly enjoyed the shooting experience. It just, like everything, it's touch high in the stock for me, but not drastically, which is really nice. It has got just such a nice feel to it. It's so well balanced. It opens and closes beautifully. I mean, that's just Rolls-Royce door. I'm really taken, maybe possibly a bit in love. It's just such a nice thing to shoot, and I absolutely love their ramp rib. It's just so very subtle, but it really, really works for me. Now, I'm not a big game scene fan, but I do really, really like that engraving. I love how the scroll obviously travels down the top strap and onto the top lever. I think that's a really nice touch. It's really subtle. If I had a choice, the Valhalla or the Valkyrie, they are my two absolute favourites. I mean, the Valhalla is a little bit out there. It's a little bit different, but I quite like stuff like that. I think it's a bit of me. But like I said, you can have whatever you want. Obviously, they've got a big selection of off-the-peg engraving and everything customisable. But I am proper gutted it's going back. I really like to have a bit more time with one. One of the big things that stood out to me, and obviously we played you the slow-mo earlier, is how the recoil is delivered. It's very linear, and by that I mean that there is no muzzle flip, there is no punchiness. All the recoil comes straight backwards through the gun, through the shoulder. And it's just so smooth to shoot. I mean, I love Sovereigns, but they tend to be a little bit punchy. I am a little bit recoil sensitive, and therefore I shoot Pro 1s. But I shot 3 boxes of Sovereigns through this, and just could have kept on shooting. And obviously 1600 feet per second, they're a fairly punchy cartridge, they deliver a bit of recoil. I couldn't feel it. I mean, my Caesar my ascent is 8.8, and even with Sovereigns, it can tend to be a little bit thumpy. So I shot Sovereigns at the Pro 1 last week, and yeah, they're a punchy old shell, but they are phenomenal. With this, it was just like shooting super fast or something that's just, I don't know, it's very, very hard to explain to people without physically shooting it. There just was a real absence of recoil, and that's really nice. And I think this would be awesome to take on a game day, because when I go and shoot in Wales and I like to go and shoot the high stuff, I will shoot normally a minimum of a 36 gram, and sometimes we'll go up to something like a 40 or 42. It really does knock you about a bit, and therefore I have to balance my gun with the shot cam and some weights in the stock, which takes it up over 9 pounds, and it works, but by the end of the day it feels like my arms are going to drop off. Whereas something like this, with the barrel technology and the reduction in weight, because obviously they tend to be around about 8 pounds, you could shoot that all day long without any issues regarding recoil, but also because of the weight reduction in it, or not the weight reduction, but because they are a lighter gun, you're going to feel fresher at the end of it. You're not going to feel like you've thrown a 9 pound gun around all day and your arms are going to drop off. And I'd love to be able to have a go and do that, because I think I'd love to see how it performs with bigger shells, with something that's a lot punchier, being sort of that lighter side of 8 pounds. I mean, it's all down to how shallow that action is. So obviously the shallower the action, the less material they need around the head of the gun and around obviously the chamber of the barrels. It just makes for a lighter gun and a really, really enjoyable shooting experience. If I had to pick any flaws with it, I don't know. I mean, I appreciate that this is one of the demo guns, but maybe obviously the safety catch could have done with being silver. I think that would be a nice finish rather than it being black. And I do prefer a slightly more beaver tail style forend. I love the shape of this. I really, really like the shape of it, but if it was just that little bit thicker, it would sit really beautifully in the hand, but therefore it'd throw the balance out. So you can't really complain. I just don't particularly want to send it back. You know, I'd love to spend a bit more time with it, and hopefully in the future the guys at Longthorne will be able to send me one out for a little bit longer, but yeah, I absolutely love it. It's a beautiful gun. It's incredibly well engineered. I mean, the engineering that Jim's put into it, as most of you know, whoever has seen any of Johnny's previous videos on the Longthorne, the engineering that goes into them is absolutely phenomenal. And they also produce something that is incredibly elegant. I keep going back to it, but that shallower action makes for a really nice sleek line of the gun, and how obviously it drops away into the stock here. The shape of all of it, to me, it's just such an elegantly put together gun. And yeah, I'm really, really taken with it. I won't lie, I struggled with the 20 bore barrels, going from obviously having the step rib to then the flat rib 20 bores, which were a hell of a lot lighter. After shooting the 12 bore barrels, it was quite a challenge to slow the gun down and be a bit more controlled. But when are you ever going to do that? It's not very often that you're going to bash, 7,500 shells through and then swap barrels and shoot, something else, because, not many people are going to do that. It's just, that's probably the only thing that I struggled with on the day, but everything else, just, yeah, awesome. I mean, if you are contemplating it, guys, you just do it. I would. I am absolutely in love. So thank you for watching this week, guys. We'll be back to you next week with another video. I'd like to take the chance to say a huge, huge thank you to all of our subscribers and viewers, as well as all of our sponsors. None of this would be possible without all of your support. Thank you.